How's it, guys? Welcome back to FX Rhapsody. Today we're looking at the British pound, Japanese yen, and also the British pound, US dollar. Be sure to go visit my website. I've updated the COT reports, so just go there and download in the resource tab. Okay, so looking at the charts let's start off on the weekly today. So on a weekly time frame for the British pound, Japanese yen, that's the one we're looking at, we can see that price is retracing. So we have this Fibonacci from this low to the high, and we can see that price is basically retraced back to that 62% area over here. So now we need more. Look, for those of you that saw this retracement and traded it to the long, there was a nice amount of pips that was caught going up until, was it 200 and something pips. Very nice. So basically now we see this retraction of the candle. Now we're just going to look at for more confirmation to see if price is going to head up to our profits or target areas at the top. So going to the daily time frame, just expand this a little bit. So on the daily time frame, what we can see is as follows. We see this trend line going down over there. So you can see multiple touches on that trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's a couple of touches. And then also what we can see at the bottom here is this key area here. So when you extend your trend line, you can see this candle formation or this pattern forming. So what we want to see is price either breaking out to the downside, retracing back, and then moving even down further, or what we want to see is price breaking above this trend line and then doing a little bit of retracement and then looking for a nice long to the upside. So those are two scenarios. Another point of interest that we're going to see is if we take our Fibonacci from this swing low to here, from there to that swing high at the top, so we get our swing low to our swing high, what we can see is price retraced nicely to that 62% area. This is also a nice key area. You can just expand this or do that from here. So you can see that this is a very nice key area for the market. We saw it on a weekly, and so this area here, if it is broken, so we will see then price going more to the downside. But for me, this is just more confirmation. If price breaks this area, I will definitely climb into a buy for this pair. So let's just remove all of this before we drill down to our hourly. So the hourly time frame. What does the hourly time frame show us? So what I want to do is just want to highlight a couple of key areas in the market. So basically the first one will be this area over here. If I can scroll down, sorry. There we go. This is my key area that I want to look at there. You can see price touching that area over there. I also want to draw another key area over here. There we go. Just going to expand this a little bit. So you can see that price broke. That was a previous area of support. Price came up. It broke that. Touched the bottom of that support. Turned this support into a resistance when it came up. Touched that resistance. Now price is starting to hover over here. There's another key area I just wanted to highlight. This will be this key area on the top here. Just going to do that. Just expand that a little bit. So you can see this area was support, turned resistance, then broke, a little bit of support, and then broke for that, turning that into a resistance now. And then the obvious one will be the one at the top. So this will be a nice big one. So let's not make it too big. Okay, let's just expand this a little bit so everything is in line. Okay, so now I've got my key areas that I'm looking at on the hourly. So what I want to do is now wait for confirmation. So what I want to take my Fibonacci from this low to that swing high. So we see that price made this low, swing low, price bolted up with a couple of long bullish candles, touched that key area of resistance over there, made a swing at the top, and now price is hovering. So basically what I want to see is, obviously this is a area here. I want to see that area being broken. If it breaks to the downside, I will most definitely keep an eye out for this area between the 62 and the 70% area for retracement. So basically I want to see price retracing back to that. If it breaks that small area of support next week, and then we will look at, like we see here, the highlighted areas will be your target 1. As you can see how the Fibonacci lines up very nicely. Then your next key area will be your target number 2, which again lines up exactly where I draw my key area on the market, that resistance area. And then obviously we're looking at target number 3, which will be the top one. So those are my areas that I'm looking at. I'm looking at price breaking this little section over there, or little support area, and then as soon as it breaks, I will definitely be looking at placing my longs on this position over there. COT commitment of traders. Let's have a look on the British pound side. Because we are looking at the British pound, Japanese yen, let's look at the British pound first. So the British pound is at a extreme low for me. So you can see that it went, it was dancing around that. So it went from a positive. We didn't have the COT reports last week, so it went to a -12, and then all of a sudden this big movement to the downside, and you can see it on this huge movement. You can see this big movement to the downside. So basically that caused, or it just shows on the COT report, a lot of shorts being closed in the markets, a lot of shorts being opened in the markets, and a couple of longs being closed. Now for me, this is an extreme low, so I will definitely be this week be cautious of just selling, because a lot of times when you see these extreme lows, you can see a correction. Basically the guys just gearing up for nice long positions in the market, those big banks and institutes. So basically I will definitely be looking out for this key area, maybe a movement to the downside, and then price pushing up to the upside. Let's just have a look at the Japanese yen. Japanese yen is also starting to strengthen a little bit. So it was hovering around the negative 107,000 net positions. Slowly but surely it's making its way up to the positive. It's getting positive. So a lot more shorts being closed in the market, a lot of more longs being opened in the market. But again, it's the strength of the British pound that's going to be interesting, because if the Japanese yen strengthens like it's doing, it will push price down. So yes, we will see that movement to the downside because the yen is strengthening a little bit. We still have a weak British pound, and then all of a sudden, in my mind, I'm not trying to predict the markets, but I can see this area being touched and then movement to the upside. So let's look at the pound dollar. Before we go to the hourly, let's go move to the weekly. Let's just do that. Don't want to expand this too much. All right, so what we see is the following. We can see this trend line happening there, and we can see this movement at the bottom. Let's do it nicer. That to that, and then what we can see here is we do that and that. Okay, that looks better. So we see this downwards channel, this bearish channel. So price moving up and down this channel. So currently price is at the bottom, showing a little bit of signs that it wants to move up. So on the longer time frame, or on the weekly longer trades, we might be seeing this price continuing this pattern of moving up and down. Okay, so bear in mind or keep in mind that we're looking for price or expecting price to move up again. So let's go to the daily time frame and see if we can see more confirmation of that price moving in that direction. Let's just have a look here. Just want to expand this a little bit. So basically what we see here is doom. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Trend line. Just gonna do that. There we go. So we can see it a bit clearer. So we have that trend line over there. I'm just going to do that. Sorry, I'm very pedantic when it comes to my trend lines and stuff. So what we see is a touch on the trend line, touch on the trend line, almost a touch, and then we saw the trend line being broken. Okay, we can lift this up a little bit. There we go, and we can move that down a little bit. There we go. So what we see is this trend line being broken, retested. Okay, and in most cases, when a trend line is broken, retested, what do we expect? We expect price to move then to the upside. Okay, to get a little bit more confirmation on that, let's take out a Fibonacci tool. I'm just going to expand this so we can see it clearer. Fibonacci tool from this low, swing low, to that swing high. So that's the swing low to the swing high. And what do we see? We see price retracing and touching the trend line and also retracing nicely to the 62% area. So that's two confirmations for me that price might be moving to the upside. So again, don't just now come Monday and start buying. It's not what you don't just follow my analysis and buy. Let's go down, drill down to the hourly time frame. So this is where we're going to look for confirmation for this buy setup. Again, I just want to highlight a couple of areas in the market. So first of all, let's just drill out. Okay, I'm drilling out far because there's a couple of key areas that I just want to highlight. So the top area is the first one. So we can see on the top here, there's this area of support over here, been broken. So let's just expand this a little bit. So that now obviously became the area of big resistance at the top. Another area that I want to look at, just expanding a little bit, is this area over there. This is also a key area for me in the market. So that, as you can see, that was a resistance, boom, up, a little bit of dancing around it, and then price coming and retesting that area, didn't break it, and then bam, down again. So again, that's more confirmation of a key area in the market, of a resistant area in the market. All right, so, and then another key area for me is the obvious one at the bottom. It's over here, where you can see price. You can do it from here. Price coming into this area, just expanding a little bit. Do that. Let's just do this. Okay, so that for me is a key area. So a couple of ones on the hourly time frame. So now, what do we look for? How do we look for the buys and when to buy? So this is where the Fibonacci comes in again into play. So we get, you see price bouncing off or retesting that resistance area, coming down, retesting this key area of support in the market. It touched it. So we take our Fibonacci from this low, swing low, to that swing high over there. Right. So just expanding it a little bit. So we can see, oops, let me just do it perfect. There we go. So you can see price retracing back, not touching that 62% area. For me, I want to see that area being touched. Okay. The reason for that is we see this. Just want to draw that, highlight that area for you. So that is, for me, is a key area. So it depends on how you feel, but for me, I just want to do that. There we go. That's much better. So if you look closely, these candles are respecting that area, closing in that area over there. So my look on this hourly time frame. I want to see price at least coming into that zone between the 62 and 70%. As soon as price goes into that, I'm going to be looking for buy. And then we're going to be looking at price moving to the upside. Hitting that target there. As you can see, targets that are highlighted in the market or on the chart, that will be your second target. The first target will be up here, which is evidently also a nice key area, which I didn't even mark out, but you can see, even if you expand it to the side, look at that. Look at how that target areas of the Fibonacci is key areas that I'm looking at the chart. So that will be your second one and the third one on the top. So Fibonacci, I love this tool. It just highlights all those areas that I've been marking out. Let's look at the COT reports. Sorry, before we go to COT reports, guys, for those of you that haven't seen my Fibonacci on how you trade or want to know how you trade the Fibonacci, I'm going to be posting a link that will pop up just on the end of the video. To just keep an eye on it. Just click on that link and it will take you straight to the Fibonacci key level. Also, when you trade, just trade with a trading plan, guys. Use the trading plan. I made a video, psychology of trading, explains to you how you trade, the psychology around it, using that trading plan to trade with. Also, that link will be on the top. It appears now, and just go click on it. Go look at that video. Go watch that video, and it will explain more. And I'm telling you now, it will better your experience in trading. So, looking at the COT reports but we've seen the British pound, like I've explained. For me, it's in an extreme low. So I can expect, or I will be expecting, this net position to slowly and surely start going to the positive side. Maybe some shorts being closed, longs being open in the market for the next update on the COD reports. Let's have a look. But yes, that's usually the case of when it's an extreme low, price goes to the positive. You can see it over here was an extreme low on negative 24,000. Then all of a sudden, lots of shorts being closed, longs being open in the market. Over here, we can see exactly the same. Extreme low, negative 20,000. Then all of a sudden, lots of shorts being, or over here, lots of shorts being closed in the market, a couple of shorts, but in longs being open. So you can see that shift in the market to the positive sides. Now, again, we find ourselves on another extreme low. So we can expect the next update of the COT report to have shorts being closed in the market and longs being opened. So that's all from me for today, guys. Be sure don't to miss out on those videos, those links I'm posting at the top there. Just go watch them. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend and happy trading, guys.